Hello and welcome to the Real-Esteem podcast. Today is October the 22nd, 2018. I'm your host, Patrick Tabor, and today on the Identity Edition, we're going to talk about salt. If you're accessing our podcast through any of our providers, Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Spreaker, please subscribe so you can get a notification when we make new ones available. If you'd like to listen to any old podcasts or get a copy of our book, Real-Esteem, Finding Your Identity in Christ, please visit us at enith.com, EYNIITH.com. One of the things I have learned and continue to learn is how important your identity is to your walk with God. It is almost pertinent that you know who you are so that you can move forward into what God's called you to do, what God's called you to be, where He's called you to go, and why He's called you to it. In Mark 9:49 and 50, it says, "For everyone will be salted with fire. Salt is good, but if the salt has lost its saltiness, how will it make it salty again? Or how will you make it salty again? Have salt in yourselves and be at peace with one another." You have to have something in you. God would not have created you without there being some gift, some purpose, some creation, something in you that is going to benefit or add to or season someone or something else. Your job is to be a light to the world. You bring something to the table. Have you ever had bland food that, it's really not that great? It's okay, but when you add salt to it, it just exemplifies the taste. It brings out the flavors of the actual food. It's important and vital to have flavor in that food. Well, it's important and vital that you bring that flavor to whatever circumstance God has placed you in to solve a problem or to be a support or a help, to bring life or laughter to a situation. Whatever that is, the salt is in you. You have to bring it to the party. It doesn't just develop on its own. Matthew 5:13 through 16 says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." That is it. You have to put yourself in the situations that God tells you to so that you can be a light to others. Whether you, it's okay to not think more highly of yourself than you ought. That's good. But don't hide yourself from people. Don't hide yourself from circumstances. Don't put yourself in a place where you are hidden. But the saltiness or whatever the gift is, whatever the purpose is, whatever you have that is separate and special, it can't show to the people who need to see it unless you get out there and go to the places that they are. God's not going to always bring them to you. You have to be out in public in a place where that can be seen, people can benefit from what you have. You are not in this for yourself. You are in this for other people. Colossians 4:6 says, "Let your speech be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person." We are to really give ourselves to God and allow Him to use us as a kind of like a tool, a source of help or support for someone else. And if we open ourselves up to that, then we'll be able to see what God's actually doing with us, why He created us, what our purpose is. Knowing who God set you up to be, knowing what those gifts are, whatever your identity is through Him that He's created you for, is going to help you help others. You are going to be confident in yourself. You're going to know what goals work for you, what doesn't work for you. You're going to know where to go. And then when He tells you what to do, because you know what's in you, you know what the purpose is, you believe who He called you to be, when you go out to help and support people, you won't have anything holding you back. There'll be no reservations or things that keep you from actually going forward and just, speaking life, saying nice things to people, comforting them, encouraging them, singing a song, being a help, a physical help, helping someone move, doing things that are going to benefit them. You may not always get the full benefit back, but you're a giver. You are to give to them so that they can see the God in you. Once they see the God in you, they will want the God in you. He said he would draw men onto himself. He will use you to draw men onto himself if you allow him. So let's make sure that we keep the salt that God has put in us. Let us not become unusable and no good except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet. But let us be the light of the world, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. Let us be a light or lamp that does not get put under a basket, but gets put on a stand. Not so that we personally can be seen, but so that God, our Father, completely can be glorified in all that he does and all that we do through him. I hope you got something out of this today. Be blessed. Grace and peace.